Welcome to Arrow News Channel. Like and subscribe to update news around the world. The View's host Joy Behar recently told illegal immigrant that he would still be in Italy if President Donald Trump had his way. Unfortunately for her, that's about the time the man delivered a brutal smackdown on air. Liberals really don't seem to understand how things work. For years now, those on the left have been calling Donald Trump a racist, despite there being fundamental flaws in their core argument and no proof of their accusations. As they insist that Trump doesn't want immigrants here and that he wants to make America white again, everything he says and does on a daily basis actually contradicts their sentiments. For one, he's married to an immigrant. His problem isn't with immigration, it's with illegal immigration. Those who enter the country illegally hurt the American people, whether it be by taking jobs that rightfully belong to Americans or through other various criminal activities that they're complicit in, such as drugs or human trafficking. Trump's point is that America needs to be put before all else when it comes to White House policy. After all, politicians work for the American people, not the citizens of a foreign country, so it's the interest of American citizens that they should represent. Unfortunately, these facts don't seem to matter to liberals who would merely rather argue that Trump hates all immigrants, even though this couldn't possibly be further from the truth. Proving this leftist ignorance most recently was none other than Joy Behar from The View. Mad World News has reported several times on this nitwit that she always seems to get her butt kicked solely on account of how misinformed she is. In fact, she put that on display during a recent airing of The View after inviting outspoken Trump supporter, actor, and model Antonio Sabato Jr. onto their show. For those unaware, Antonio is a legal immigrant who is both Czech and Italian. In fact, he came to America with his parents when he was just 12 years old and explains that he didn't know any English at the time. Of course, it wasn't long before he was fluent in the language. Showing off their ignorance, Joy Behar and her cohorts decided to use Antonio's status as a legal immigrant to bash President Trump and his policies. Too bad for them, it would quickly fail as they were all given a brutal smackdown on air. Although they initially eased into the line of questioning, it wasn't long before Behar made her intentions perfectly clear. Let me ask you another thing that is difficult for me to understand. We've talked about your family having to hide their identity during the Holocaust in Czechoslovakia, and we've talked about the fact that you came here at 12 years old from Italy speaking no English, and this country embraced you, Sonny Hostin began. You call yourself an immigrant, but you're in favor of the wall being built, being paid for by the American people and keeping other immigrants out of the country much like yourself, she continued, as Age Review reports. Worse yet, Joy Behar decided to get in on the action as she then suggested that Antonio would still be in Italy if Trump had his way. That was all it took for Antonio to set her straight. I came here legally, and we had to wait in line and we had to struggle and save a lot of money, he shot back, and he was just getting started. Joy Behar tells legal immigrant that Trump would let him still be in Italy. Pic.twitter.com web link. Bobby, at Robert Ulrich 1, February 8, 2018. Joy Behar pressed the matter, saying that the cost of a border wall would not be worth it. People who are coming in even legally or illegally are flying in, they're not jumping over a wall, she said, adding that the wall is a waste of money and questioning how Antonio could think that it was going to protect our nation. Just as quickly as he put the host in her place the first time, Antonio did the same again without hesitation. It's done it for Israel, he said. Mexico has got a wall. Why can't we? When Behar doubled down on her sentiments, Antonio finished the beatdown, saying, we spend $100 billion on immigration every year. The wall would cost probably less than $20 billion, so we would save a lot of money. The fact of the matter is that President Donald Trump isn't against immigration, he is against illegal immigration. The idiots on the left need to stop confusing the two and realize that what he's proposing is actually what's best for the American people. The fact that they want to stand in the way of that says more about them than it does him.